Final shot of the air ride before I start on the front. This will be air ride Chevelle 64 Malibu, part 1. Front will be part 2. Like, subscribe, follow for more. All the boxes showed up from Ridetech via Vintage Parts of Arizona. We got the complete front and rear air ride kit for the 64 Malibu, complete with upper lower control arms, the factory radius arms, 4-link tie rod ends, air ride struts front and rear, all the instructions, front and rear sway bar. So we're gonna go ahead and get it installed on this car before we remodify the exhaust and the drive shaft. So I took measurements from the ground to the fender. We're sitting at 20 inches, and then on the front fender we are sitting 27 3/4 from the fender lip down to the bottom. So we'll get it all installed and get it off the lift to see what the air ride lowest setting will be. Maybe we'll be tucking these even more. Hopefully we get another 4, maybe 5 inches out, and then we'll refit it for some bigger wheels. But so this is the end of the 700R4 video swap out. Next series of videos will be installing the air ride kit. Alright, so next series is we're going to pull all the factory suspension off our 64 Malibu, and we are going to install the Ridetech air ride system, complete with upper lower control arms, drop spindles, 2 ball joints, tie rod ends, the upper lower factory 4-link, front strut bags, rear strut bags, sway bars front and rear. So we'll get the tires off and then we'll rearrange the camera. We're going to start with the rear and then we're going to make our way to the front. Like, subscribe, follow along. Let's get cracking. Alright, so now I'm taking the passenger and driver side shocks off the rear axle so I can lower out the suspension enough to where I can get both driver and passenger coil springs out and or spring retainers. Now working on removing the lower passenger side ladder link on the rear 4-link, getting that switched out. Alright, just wrapping up on the passenger side. We got the new radius arm, not radius arm, but control arm for the rear 4-link, lower link, upper link. Got the upper airbag strut mount on. Got the rear axle bracket on. You gotta line these two up, drill this hole, install this, and then put the bottom on. So we'll tighten up these 2 bolts here, and then we will come over to the driver's side, and then we will, I get focused here. Then we'll get this time lapse so you can see what all involved of getting it changed out. And then the rear will be complete. Now I got you set up on a driver's side view of removing the upper and lower link on the 4-link and getting the air strut installed on the driver's side. Just a brief overview of what it takes to remove the old OEM suspension and install the new. Alright, got the rear 4-link and rear air struts on the back all installed. Next will be the rear sway bar. Underneath the 64, got the full air ride on, got the track bar on. Getting ready to put tires on. Drop it down and see what the height is, full droop. Kit's pretty sweet. Alright, so rear air ride is done on the 64 Malibu, all back on. This is full extension, which is almost 21 3/4. We're at 21 1/2. The old ride height was at 21 3/4. Now the internal struts are on the internal bumps. We're at 17 3/4, so we got 4 inches of drop. So our ride height's going to be roughly 21 or 19 1/2. I'm sorry. But these are 15-inch wheels. We'll probably do some 20s. Sweet.